It's a new year and a new you. Or, whoops, it's already the 5th, and your resolution to lose weight or get a six-pack or become a writer or quit smoking is already falling apart. But it's fine because you can still make a big change anytime you want with a few little mental tools. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a self-help guru, I'm not an addiction counselor, I'm just a comedian. And for the last 2 years, only notionally, I'm not perfect, I'm far from it. I struggle with depression, I have my own hang-ups, but I have quit smoking, lost weight, gone vegan, gone vegetarian, quit drinking, produced monthly comedy shows and a comedy festival for years, all with the same basic tools. This week, I just want to talk to you about how to change your life anytime you want for good. I'm Dan Upton, and this is the Doomcast. Hey, before anything else, do me a favor, click subscribe and the bell, because even though this isn't the normal subject matter of this channel, I put out about one video a week. They're all pretty great. I'd hate for you to miss even one. Now, here's the thing. I used to be a smoker. I started at 18 when it wasn't even cool anymore, and I smoked for years. I was terribly addicted to it. It affected my mood negatively, and did all sorts of terrible things. Now, usually smoking isn't the addiction that ruins people's lives catastrophically, but it does end up killing a lot of people. But it's also not the one where you usually break into your friend's house or your parents' place and steal a TV to pawn just to buy cigarettes. But it was bad. Like I said, it ruined my mood, it was ruining my health, and ultimately it was something that I hated myself for, and for the fact that it was making me lie to people about how much I was doing it. So here's how I quit. Smoking was one of the first things that I applied this to, but really, you can do it with absolutely anything. You just use the same tools and switch out whatever your actual end goal is. What you do is you start with small, attainable goals. You don't have to make a whole sweeping change all at once. Incremental change is better than change that you start and then stop on January 24th, right? So you pick one thing that you can do and commit to. Now, I'm not necessarily going to quit smoking altogether cold turkey or lose 100 pounds. Maybe those things work for some people, but it's easier to frame it smaller and more clearly. Instead of setting a goal as the end destination, you're just making it the first step. Instead of losing an arbitrary amount of weight, you decide to walk a mile every single day, or run for a duration of time. Maybe it's not smoking until 10 p.m. Maybe it's just no bread today. Maybe it's just eat one salad. Maybe it's do 100 sit-ups, or just 10 if that's all you can muster. It really does not matter. What matters is that you pick something that you can accomplish every single day right now with a little bit of effort. Just taking it one day at a time. I stepped smoking down daily until I replaced it with gum. That took a year. Then I used gum for a year. And what's important is not doing it all at once. It's succeeding consistently and growing into that lasting change. That means playing a very long game sometimes. Another step is to change your narrative. Write a new story for yourself. I had to convince myself that I wasn't a smoker. I told myself something that I heard an old professor of mine in college say helped him quit. He wasn't ever really a smoker. For a long time, he was a person who smoked. That's semantic, but your mindset is really important. Your personal story about who you are changes your thoughts change your behavior, and your behavior changes your own reality. You aren't a smoker or a drunk or out of shape or whatever you might conceive as being a negative thing about yourself right now. You aren't anything that you don't tell yourself that you are. Forgive yourself for failing, because you're going to mess up. You are not going to do this perfectly. You are going to sneak a cigarette at some point. You are probably going to relapse with alcohol or overeat or blow your diet or blow off a day working out or more, and that is not failure. It really isn't. It's not. It's a mistake, but that's not total failure, and it's not worth getting discouraged by. You shouldn't openly allow yourself to blow it, but when you do, you need to forgive yourself. And then you just pick back up and you get to it. One day at a time, you go back to your mile, you're not smoking for today, your salad, what have you. You have to reward yourself the right way. You're not going to permit yourself to fail openly, but you're also not going to reward yourself for sticking to your diet or working out by eating a whole pizza, or not smoking with, I only smoke when I'm drinking. The reward can't be doing the thing that you're trying to reform about yourself, right? But it can be literally anything else. Buying yourself a new shirt, or a movie, or a healthy dessert, literally anything. I don't care. You're an adult. Now for the one that's hardest for me, compare yourself to yourself. Everybody else is on a different path with different skill levels, different circumstances, and different hang-ups. You aren't them. Now you start doing a sit-up if that's your goal. Maybe you can't do one and that's your goal, and that's what you take the baby steps to take. If you want to do it, you can do it. I hate that kind of blanket positivity because it seems out of touch with reality, saccharine, and very inauthentic, but it's unfortunately real. Doc Brown said it, you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Now, once you've mastered it, you adopt the new thing as a lifestyle. It's not a diet or a fad or a challenge. That is worthless to you. It's not even a Band-Aid. It's barely sticky. See if you can do this one day at a time, and then you just do it every single day that you can. If not, you're just setting a timer to go back to the problem that you're trying to solve, which leads me back to step one, which is making it a small, attainable change. And anytime you feel like living it for the rest of your life is too much, just remember, it's one day. Anyhow, that's it. That's the end of the sermon. I don't have all the answers, and some of this is probably pretty shitty advice. If you're seriously struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, you need to get into treatment, call a rehab center or somebody that you love, and just say, I need help, and then have the courage to finish the rest of the conversation. Because that's what any of this is going to take. It's going to take courage. But if a former paunchy pack-a-day binge-drinking butcher can become a smoke-free vegetarian fitness dork, anybody can do anything that they want to. And you don't need to let anybody else, especially yourself, convince you otherwise. Thanks for watching. Back to actual comics next week. I'm Dan Umpton. This was the Doomcast. Thanks for checking it out.